Hello, I'd like to show you Hummingbird Cottage. She is semi-soft cover. She has layers, fabric, one signature, but she's stuffed. She is 6.5 wide by 9.5 tall. You can see there's pamphlet stitch, the spine, and when it's tied up, it's about a little under 3 inches. But watch what happens when I untie this. But before I untie it, I should show you that she has a dangle. It's got the colors that are in the cover, and these colors are repeated throughout the book. This is removable here. There's a ball pin. You take it off the ring. Velvet. I'm not sure what color this is going to come across on the camera, but it's purple, kind of lavender, dark lavender here, light lavender here. And the cottage it's almost like a haven for hummingbirds because it's got lots of flowers. Hummingbirds, well, they love flowers. Mother of pearl button, vintage rickrack that's been tea-dyed, some vintage doily here and here, some more rickrack here, and some tulle here that's been tea-dyed, some tea-dyed lace. And this was the color that it was. I thought the brown was kind of chocolate colored, goes really good contrast with the rest. And this is vintage seam binding and flat back pearls here to add some highlights to it. There's a little weird story behind why I included brown. I knew that I was going to be doing purple and the fuchsia and the green and the cream color, ivory color, but I hadn't thought to put any brown. I didn't have any brown set aside to add to it. But the night before I started doing the major kind of work on this, I dreamt that I was working on a journal, and in the dream, the journal was purple, and I was supposed to add brown. And in the dream, when I added the brown, it worked. But I kind of forgot about the dream until I was working on this, and then see it without the brown. It's just not the same. And while I was working on it, I went, oh, I need one more color. And then I remembered the dream, and I thought, brown? I don't know about that. And I thought, well, there's some brown in here. There's kind of some brown in there, so why not? I'll give it a try. Because, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but sometimes your dreams are like, I don't know, they're like a messenger telling you, hey, warning or suggestion, or, maybe telling you what you really want to do. In this case, yeah, I don't think all dreams are like that, but this dream seemed to be telling me the truth, because once I put the brown on, I just went, yes, that's it. So enough of my dream. Let's get back to the journal. So see how she's pretty close right now, but watch what happens when yeah. So much for thinking that I was going to make a journal that wasn't going to take as long to make. She is stuffed. I think this is a lady that owns Hummingbird Cottage, and she loves hummingbirds. And she likes things too that are fancy, but she also likes, a simple life too. She likes fancy flowers, and she likes some fancy clothes, and she likes a little bit of bling. And considering that hummingbirds are sparkly, I thought it would be appropriate to put some sparkle stuff in this journal. So this is crinkle paper, tea-dyed. Perfect little journaling spot. And I didn't use digitals in here, except I think maybe one of my photographs that I copied out. And so things like these are from books and magazines. This is from fabric. This is a little mini journal that I made with 2 envelopes that were This one was stamped with some leaves from my garden. You can see there's 2 envelopes to make this little pocket here. And just some pages for writing on in here. And tag in the back and in the front. Just a little plain card for writing on. And she's sewing the side with my sewing machine. Nice deep pocket, so there's room for more things in there. Because this ribbons, it's long enough that you could add a bit more to this journal if you want to. And this is the same fabric that's on the front. What do you call this? Velvet. This pocket here, there's room for a couple of journaling cards, paper and a card. And there's a secret little spot here with what I believe is a garden angel. Another little hummingbird glued onto some cardstock and then with some lace. This page is a deep pocket here that has another little mini journal covered with some fabric. Bit of vintage lace there. Sewing, my machine, and then there's a hand-stitched 3 pamphlets, wool stitch there. Pocket here for journaling card, and space for writing some notes. A little dangle, the heart. This here hummingbird picture is from, I believe, my vintage bird book. There were several things that I drew pictures from. There's a little journal card here, so I won't necessarily remember. Yeah. It's fun collecting stuff, but I don't always remember where I got it from. And I thought this suited the cottage flowers. It's just a little blank card for writing it. It's tea-dyed. Another journaling card. A little altar paper clip there with the vintage button sewn onto it. There's a tuck spot under here. It's blank on the back for writing on. And here there's a little secret journaling spot in here. Lovely artwork. And this was also a picture from a book made into a journaling card. The lovely green button matches the green and the hummingbirds. And stamp the word joy, because oh my goodness, when you see a hummingbird and they're so brightly colored, they just look like they're full of joy, and they give us joy too. Little journaling spot here. Some vintage lace. A little card turned into a paper clip, altar paper clip. And this journal isn't just for spring or summer, it's got autumn and winter pictures in it too. And I like to think that that might be where the lady that owns the cottage, maybe that's where she grew up, and it's probably towards the back of the property on the lake. Little spot here for journaling. And this little button here, an oldie, there's a little shimmery in the background, almost like there's a mirror inside of it. Matches this so well. And that's a vintage paper clip too. Just have a few of those, but they're so cute. Lots of journaling space. And there's a little bit of bling. Nice button with some vintage lace, some of the velvet, lovely hummingbird picture and space for writing on the back. Little cluster to match this page. It has pretty hummingbird and some paper to write on as well. You can write on the back too. Some more lace and more journaling space here. Journaling card, a little bit of bling, and writing space on the back too. Crinkly paper here with a hummingbird stamped onto it. And extra writing space here as well. And a teapot, because, well, you know, a cottage has to have a teapot. And it has to have flowers. And this lady, well, she likes a little bit of bling. And vintage button. Each of the tabs has a same vintage button on it. A little bit more shimmer here to go with the hummingbird journaling card. And some shimmer here, some bling. And a tag. Hummingbird here from calendar. And this hummingbird is from a book, and then I put it onto an envelope. And there's even a couple of tuck spots with a little butterfly and a pansy. Shows the difference here between the male and the female for two different types of hummingbird. Tea time. Vintage button. Little tag here, and a cutesy picture here. I think that was clip art. I think it's called, is it Dover or Dover? It was a book that I've had for years. Hummingbirds here, sewn on with some vintage lace behind it, and a lovely old rose button like I put in my other cottage journal. And it's also on one of those old paper clips. Winter scene here. Imagine that pond that we saw earlier. It's a great place to skate in the winter. And there's a field between Hummingbird Cottage and her father's home. And they have sheep. And imagine with this much property, they definitely would have some blackberry bushes and wild roses. And some tea-dyed paper for writing on. This page we have a hummingbird playing with the water and a little spot for a booklet. And here we have some scrapbook paper made into a little note card. Vintage lace here for a pocket, and a little safety pin with some bluey purple to go with the velvet. And here's some more of the vintage lace on this side as well. The card. Some green to go with the hummingbirds for journaling. Artwork from this book was just gorgeous. Some writing space. Some writing space here too, and on here, and some lace. And in the back pocket, vintage button here, and some more writing space. And tags and cards. I noticed this morning when I was making my bed that we have 3 pictures of cottages in our bedroom. My husband likes cottages too. So I come by my love of cottages. Yeah. The very first house we bought looked like a little cottage. Yeah, our favorite homes have been the ones that make us think of a cottage. So if this was for sale in my neighborhood, oh my, yeah, that would be tempting. But the house I live in now, the one we have now, is like a cottage too. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope I inspired you. Take care and have a lovely weekend. Bye.